Imagine giving every difficult person a remote control to your mind, a button for anger, another for sadness, and one for self-doubt. Every time they provoke you, they press a button and watch you react. You may believe you are fighting them, but you are actually obeying them. Real power begins when those buttons stop working. 1. Create space between the trigger and your reaction. There is a dangerous moment between what someone does to you and what you do next. If you react immediately, anger will speak before wisdom has time to think. One insulting comment can make you say something you regret. One disrespectful action can pull you into an unnecessary argument, and one careless person can disturb the peace you spent hours building. This is how people control you without touching you. They trigger an emotion and patiently wait for your predictable reaction. The solution is not to become emotionless. It is to create a small space before responding. Pause, breathe deeply, and observe what is happening inside you. Ask yourself, does this deserve my energy, or am I being pulled into someone else's chaos? That brief pause allows your intelligence to take control before anger makes the decision. A powerful person does not respond to every provocation. Sometimes silence protects your dignity better than an argument, and walking away demonstrates more strength than winning a fight. When you choose your response instead of surrendering to your first impulse, nobody can easily manipulate your mood or actions. 2. Stop taking other people's behavior personally. Not everything people do is about you. Someone may speak harshly because they are carrying anger from another situation, ignore you because their mind is overwhelmed, or criticize you because your progress reminds them of what they have avoided in themselves. When you take every action personally, you begin carrying emotions that never belong to you. Their bad mood becomes your sadness, their careless opinion becomes your self-doubt, and their disrespect begins controlling the way you see yourself. Learn to separate another person's behavior from your value. Their words may reveal their character, frustration, or insecurity, but they do not automatically reveal the truth about you. Listen calmly and examine what was said. If there is useful criticism, accept it without feeling attacked and use it to improve. If there is only bitterness or an attempt to provoke you, refuse to carry it any further. You do not need to defend yourself against every misunderstanding. Let people think what they want while your actions continue proving who you are. The moment you stop treating every opinion like a personal verdict, you become calmer, stronger, and much harder to control. 3. Train your emotions before the battle arrives. You cannot expect to control a powerful emotion if you have never practiced controlling the smaller ones. Emotional mastery is built in ordinary moments, when someone interrupts you, when your plans suddenly change, when progress feels slow, or when you do not receive the attention you expected. These situations may appear unimportant, but each one is a training ground. Every time you choose patience over irritation, silence over a careless response, or discipline over impulse, you strengthen your ability to remain steady during greater pressure. Do not wait for betrayal, rejection, or serious conflict before trying to become calm. Train yourself daily by observing your emotions without immediately obeying them. When anger appears, notice how it changes your thoughts. When fear enters, ask whether the danger is real or created by your imagination. When disappointment hurts, allow yourself to feel it without letting it destroy your direction. Emotional control does not mean becoming cold. It means experiencing emotions without becoming their prisoner. Just as the body becomes stronger through resistance, the mind becomes stronger whenever you face discomfort without losing command of yourself. Train in peaceful moments, and you will remain powerful when the real battle arrives. 4. Never place your mood in someone else's hands. Many people begin their day feeling peaceful, but one unanswered message, one careless comment, or one cold expression suddenly changes everything. Their energy disappears, their thoughts become negative, and they spend hours replaying a moment that may have lasted only a few seconds. Without realizing it, they have handed another person complete control over their emotional state. The other person may have already forgotten what happened, yet they remain trapped inside it, fighting an argument in their mind long after the real conversation has ended. This is one of the most dangerous forms of emotional dependence. When your happiness rises every time someone praises you and collapses whenever they criticize you, your mood no longer belongs to you. People can reward you with attention, punish you with silence, motivate you with approval, and weaken you with rejection. They do not need physical strength to control you because your emotional reactions have already given them access to your mind. A single sentence becomes enough to ruin your confidence, while one person's absence becomes powerful enough to make your entire life feel empty. You must take that authority back. This does not mean pretending that nothing hurts or acting as though you do not care about anyone. It means refusing to make another person responsible for the peace you should be building within yourself. Love people, appreciate them, and enjoy their presence, but never make them the foundation of your emotional stability. A foundation built on someone else's behavior will always be uncertain because people change, feelings shift, promises break, and attention moves. If your peace depends on everything around you remaining perfect, you will never experience peace for very long. Begin by noticing what has the power to change your mood. Is it being ignored? Is it criticism, rejection, comparison, or the fear that somebody no longer values you? Once you identify the trigger, stop reacting automatically and examine the meaning you have attached to it. An unanswered message does not always mean rejection. Someone disagreeing with you does not mean you are foolish. Being excluded from one situation does not mean you are unwanted everywhere. Many emotional wounds become deeper because the mind creates a painful story before it knows the truth. Even when someone intentionally tries to disturb you, you still have a choice. Some people will provoke you because they enjoy watching you lose control. They learn which words make you angry, which subjects make you insecure, and which behaviors cause you to chase them for answers. Every uncontrolled reaction teaches them how to manipulate you more effectively. When you remain calm, however, their strategy begins to fail. They may continue speaking, but their words no longer control your posture, your decisions, or the direction of your day. Your calmness becomes a boundary they cannot easily cross. Build your emotional state around things that belong to you. Your discipline, your values, your daily effort, and the promises you make to yourself. Wake up with a purpose that does not depend on receiving attention. Exercise because you respect your body. Work because you are building a future. Improve your mind because growth gives you confidence that no compliment can provide. When your life contains meaningful goals, other people's opinions become smaller because they are no longer the center of your world. You must also stop checking constantly for proof that people still approve of you. Do not measure your value by how quickly someone replies, how warmly they speak, or how often they include you. The person who needs continuous reassurance will always be easy to control, because others can remove that reassurance whenever they want power. Learn to reassure yourself through evidence. Remember the difficulties you survived, the discipline you developed, the progress you made, and the standards you refused to abandon. Confidence becomes stable when it is built on character rather than attention. There will still be moments when someone's behavior hurts you. Emotional mastery does not erase pain, it changes what you do with it. Instead of allowing the pain to control your entire day, give yourself time to understand it. Decide whether you need a conversation, a boundary, distance, or simply acceptance. Respond to the real situation instead of punishing yourself with imagined meanings. If a person repeatedly damages your peace, reducing their access to you is not weakness or bitterness. It is evidence that you have learned to protect your mind. A strong person does not demand that everyone behave correctly before choosing to remain balanced. They understand that the world will always contain difficult personalities, unexpected disappointments, and unfair opinions. Their strength comes from knowing that external chaos does not have to become internal chaos. They may feel anger without becoming reckless, experience sadness without surrendering their purpose, and face rejection without questioning their entire identity. Your mood is valuable because it influences your words, decisions, relationships, and future. Guard it carefully. Do not place it in the hands of someone who can drop it whenever they become careless, distant, or upset. Let people be responsible for their behavior while you remain responsible for your response. The moment your peace stops depending on their approval, attention, or understanding, you become difficult to manipulate. People may still test you, but they will no longer have the power to decide who you become. 5. Become flexible without becoming weak. Life will not always move according to your plan. People will disappoint you, opportunities will disappear, relationships will change, and situations you thought you understood will suddenly become uncertain. If your mind can accept only one outcome, every unexpected change will feel like defeat. You will become angry when people do not behave as you expected, anxious when the future becomes unclear, and emotionally exhausted from fighting realities you cannot control. This is why flexibility is not merely a useful quality, it is a form of psychological strength. A rigid object may appear strong because it refuses to bend, but enough pressure will eventually break it. A flexible object absorbs the force, adjusts its position, and survives. The same principle applies to the mind. When you demand that life follow your expectations, you become fragile because anything unexpected can disturb you. When you learn to adapt, difficulty may slow you down, but it cannot easily destroy your direction. Bruce Lee's philosophy of water represents this powerful balance. Water does not waste its energy arguing with the shape of the container. It adjusts without losing its nature. When a rock blocks its path, it does not remain trapped forever, complaining that the road should have been clear. It moves around the obstacle, flows through a smaller opening, or continues applying pressure until a new path appears. Its form changes, but its movement continues. This does not mean you should become passive, weak, or willing to accept everything people do. Flexibility is not the absence of standards. It is the ability to change your method without abandoning your principles. You can listen to another opinion without losing confidence in your own judgment. You can forgive someone without inviting them back into your life. You can leave an argument without admitting that disrespect was acceptable. You can change your plan while remaining committed to your purpose. Weakness gives up its values to avoid pressure. Flexibility protects its values while finding a wiser way forward. Many people remain trapped because they confuse stubbornness with strength. Once they choose a direction, they refuse to adjust even when reality clearly shows that the method is failing. They continue fighting the wrong battle because changing their approach feels like admitting defeat. But there is no strength in repeating a mistake merely to protect your pride. A disciplined mind is strong enough to examine itself honestly. It can say, "This approach is not working. I need to learn, adjust, and try again." Changing a failing strategy is not surrender. It is intelligence in motion. Imagine that you worked hard for an opportunity and still lost it. A rigid mind says, "This was my only chance. Everything is ruined." That thought turns one disappointment into a complete emotional collapse. A flexible mind feels the pain but asks a better question. What is this situation demanding from me now? Perhaps you need a new skill, a different route, more preparation, or an opportunity you had never considered. The closed door remains real, but it no longer becomes the end of your identity. The same principle applies to relationships. You may want someone to understand you, apologize, or treat you with the respect you offered them. However, you cannot force emotional maturity into another person. If you continue demanding a response they are unwilling or unable to give, you place your peace inside their limitations. Flexibility means accepting the truth of who they are and adjusting your access, expectations, and distance accordingly. You are not approving their behavior. You are refusing to remain trapped by the fantasy that they must change before you can move forward. Emotional flexibility also means allowing feelings to pass through you instead of turning them into permanent identities. You can experience anger without becoming an angry person. You can feel rejected without deciding that you are worthless. You can face uncertainty without believing that disaster is inevitable. Emotions are temporary signals, but the rigid mind holds onto them, repeats the painful story, and gives them a permanent home. The flexible mind listens to the signal, learns what it can, and then allows the feeling to move on. One of the clearest signs of mental strength is knowing when to confront, when to remain silent, when to adapt, and when to walk away. Not every problem requires the same response. If you answer every challenge with aggression, people can predict and manipulate you. If you avoid every confrontation, they will ignore your boundaries. Real mastery requires range. Sometimes strength is speaking firmly. Sometimes it is listening carefully. Sometimes it is waiting until the emotion has cooled. Sometimes it is leaving because the situation is no longer worthy of your energy. A skilled fighter does not use the same movement against every opponent. They observe distance, timing, balance, and intention before choosing an action. Your emotional life requires the same awareness. Before responding, look at the person, the situation, and the possible consequences. Ask whether your goal is to solve the problem, defend your ego, protect a boundary, or simply release anger. If your response does not move you toward a useful outcome, it may be an impulse disguised as strength. Flexibility also frees you from the exhausting need to be understood by everyone. Some people will misjudge your silence, question your decisions, or create a version of you that exists only inside their minds. You could spend years trying to correct every misunderstanding and still fail because certain people are committed to seeing only what supports their opinion. A flexible mind knows when explanation is useful and when it has become self-abandonment. You can clarify your intention once, but you do not have to stand in a courtroom every day defending your character to people determined to misunderstand you. Learn to change your expectations without lowering your self-respect. If a person repeatedly proves unreliable, stop expecting consistency from them and plan accordingly. If a situation continues draining you without producing growth, reconsider your investment. If a goal remains important, but your method keeps failing, create another route. Adaptation prevents disappointment from becoming a cycle. Instead of repeatedly being shocked by the same behavior, you begin responding to reality as it is. To develop this strength, replace the thought, "This should not be happening," with the question, "What does this moment require from me?" The first statement keeps you fighting reality. The second returns your attention to action. Ask yourself what remains under your control. You may not control the decision, but you can control your preparation. You may not control someone's opinion, but you can control your conduct. You may not control the sudden change, but you can control how quickly you reorganize and move forward. Give yourself more than one possible path. A person with only one plan becomes desperate when it fails, but a person who can create new approaches remains dangerous to every obstacle. Develop multiple skills, consider different solutions, and stop attaching your identity to one outcome. Your purpose may remain firm even while the road changes completely. The destination matters more than your attachment to a particular route. At the same time, know what must never bend. Your integrity, dignity, and essential values should not disappear simply because pressure arrives. Do not call it flexibility when you repeatedly tolerate humiliation because you fear being alone. Do not call it patience when you remain silent while someone destroys your confidence. Do not call it peace when you abandon your principles to make others comfortable. Water adapts to its surroundings, but it never stops being water. You can adjust your approach without betraying yourself. The world will continue changing, whether you are ready or not. The people beside you today may leave tomorrow. The plan that once worked may suddenly fail. The identity you built in one chapter may no longer fit the next. If you resist every change, life will have to break your old form before you accept a new one. If you remain flexible, you can grow without losing the center of who you are. Become calm enough to observe, humble enough to learn, and strong enough to adjust. Hold firmly to your purpose, but lightly to the exact way you believe it must happen. Let obstacles sharpen your intelligence instead of feeding your frustration. Let disappointment redirect your effort instead of destroying your confidence. Let pressure reveal new forms of strength that comfort could never teach you. You do not become powerful by controlling every event, every person, or every outcome. You become powerful when no change can permanently stop your movement. Adapt without surrendering, bend without breaking, change your strategy without abandoning your values. When your mind learns to move with reality, while your character remains firm, people may challenge you, and circumstances may test you, but neither will easily master you. From this moment, stop asking the world to protect your peace. Protect it yourself. When insult comes, pause before responding. When criticism comes, examine it without losing confidence. When rejection comes, adjust your direction without questioning your worth. Let emotions enter your mind, but never allow them to sit on the throne. People may continue testing you, but they should no longer find the same buttons to press. Their words may reach your ears, but they do not have to control your actions, disturb your purpose, or decide the person you become. If this message strengthened your mind, subscribe to Bruce Lee Mind Power and continue building a self that pressure cannot break. Remember this final truth. The greatest victory is not defeating the person standing before you. It is becoming impossible for the storm around you to become the storm within you. Master yourself, and no one else will ever master you.